This is the Gaming Rev, and today we're going to be taking a first look at My Time in Sandrock. Now the game is in early access, and as the top of the screen will tell you all through the game, things can change as it plays. So, looking at character creation, the first thing I noticed between this and My Time at Portia is that the graphics have improved quite greatly. We no longer have quite as simple graphics, although they're still typical anime type graphics. The characters are very childish looking, but don't let that fool you, the game is quite complicated. My one, I suppose, criticism is that they seem to have taken away some of the customization of the character that you had in the very first game. Although you can change hair colour and hair design somewhat, I can't put my beard on the character, which, it's annoying. It's something that will probably be worked out in later parts of the game, but it seems like a little bit of a backward step. So having designed myself, I'm now going to have a look at some of the other quick options. So you've got a lot you can characterise on your anime figure. You can change eye colours, you can change the position of facial features and so on, face tattoos, none of which overly appeal to me, but such is life. So once you've designed your character, you then need to choose your birthday. There are 4 months in the year. My suggestion is that you choose the end of the year, December, the winter time, simply because you don't get presents unless you're buddies with somebody, and it gives you more time to build up relationships with other people in the game, the non-player characters. So as we come in, you'll find that Sandrock is a desert area. It has its own problems coming from that. The access is mostly through train, whereas in Portia you came in by boat. Here you come in by train to the area, and there's a rail track running straight through the main area of the town. You'll see some of the key characters as you're coming in. Logan, who we saw out on the outside, is a bandit of some sort. You can see some of the main buildings, the desert areas that you'll be visiting. And as you come into the station, you'll be met by Mian, who is the other builder in the area. She's young, she's enthusiastic, and she's come to help build it up, and she's going to introduce you to the town. Now this kicks off the start of the tutorial process. It's quite a simple tutorial, and if I'm honest, it doesn't answer a lot of the questions that you can have during the game. Even having played My Time at Portia, there were things that I didn't discover in my first playthrough until I've been playing for about 20 odd hours. It's annoying. So middle mouse button and moving the mouse looks up and around, WASD to move, shift to run or sprint. There's no way to bind shift running at the minute, so that's a bit of a pain. You'll be introduced to Jan, who's the president of the Commerce Guild, and who is, I have to say, one of the laziest people I've met. I'm not sure how he's got so many building points for his workshop. I swear he's on the fiddle. And Mason, who is the outgoing builder. They'll tell you a bit about the area and what's going on. What you can notice while the cutscene's running through is that when you look around, there is very little greenery, very little water. As they will explain to you a bit later on, there are very few trees in the area, and you are not allowed to cut trees and cacti down. There's only the water that you can see on the left-hand side, that little pond reservoir bit, that serves the entire town. Wood and water are the key resources in this game that you're going to struggle with. I will explain that in a later game, in a later video rather. So that does mean that you're going to rely on scrap wood, and you're going to rely on collecting and making water yourself. It's not that difficult, but it is time consuming. Mason's giving you a really awe-inspiring speech. He's basically telling that your workshop is absolutely knackered. Most of it's run down and broken. Best of luck. And he's not kidding. Now, tools within the game are nice and simple. You have your axe, which you use to deal with anything wooden, and a pick hammer, a combination of pickaxe and hammer, which you use for dealing with metal, plastics, rubber, stone, and anything else. It cuts down the number of tools you need a little bit. It is more utilitarian, and there are tool tips when you get to items that tell you which one you need to use. Similarly to My Time in Portia, there are different grades of tools. So you start off with a stone, axe and pick hammer, you work your way up to bronze, to iron, and so on. And working those equipment up is quite important within the game. There are also different levels of equipment. You'll notice as you start making things that there are different coloured backgrounds to them. There are grey items, green, blue, and a sort of pinky, purpley colour. And they are the better levels. So you have normal, outstanding, perfect. I don't know what purple's called, but it's better than perfect. You know, how you get better than perfect, I don't know, but it is. So we're going to go over and have a look at the workshop now. Again, if you've played My Time in Portia, it's a similar idea. You have a house, a yard area, and the yard area is expandable. You can buy more space to fit more machinery and more equipment. Your house can be expanded as well. In front of you, you've got the house, a water tank, your work table, the assembly station, and some broken down equipment. And that's it, really. That's what you've been left with. Inside the house, you've got a bed, and again, that's it. One thing I don't like with My Time at Sandrock, your stamina, what you use to do things, is limited, of course, the same as with Portia. But you can't put furniture in your house to increase stamina. It increases health, attack, defense, other things, but not your stamina. That relies on leveling up. You can make food to increase your stamina, and one of the first things you want to build once you've got the recipe is a drying rack, because I'm going to be honest with you, making beef jerky is going to be the most important thing you can do, because it will rebuild your stamina when you're out on jobs. So we're going to go and collect the resources we need to make the pick hammer and the axe. I can't understand why Mian hasn't made one, given that she's been there a few days, but still. So all around your base, you're going to find resources either on the floor, such as the wood piles, and there's a stone pile the other side of the house. You'll also see stones and the bushes. Now the bushes you can cut down. The sandgrass just gives you fibre. The I think it's yak thorn bushes give you a bit of wood and fibre. You'll also find tumbleweeds rolling around, and tumbleweeds are brilliant. If you run into them and keep running into them, they will actually break up and give you wood. It doesn't use stamina, and as you can see, my stamina bar is going down collecting stuff. So we're going to head over now, build up the pick hammer. We've got an axe there, which we can pinch. That will deal with the wooden boxes later. Okay, so let's have a look. So here you've got your tooling. The icon that's highlighted at the minute is on the filter bar is the mission items. That will show you everything you need to make for your missions. The other items are everything, furniture, metal, random stuff. When you make your pick hammer, it will tell you what you can and can't do with it, and it will tell you the level it is. So as you can see, we've got grey and green there. Okay, so we've got the pick hammer. We're going to break up some of the scrap and get rid of all that out of the way. tidy the yard up a little bit. Okay, I am going to fast through some of these pieces because this is a long video, and the tutorial itself, the actual getting started your first day, takes about half an hour to get through. So we're going to run back across to the Commerce Guild now. As we head inside, we're going to go and have a quick look around. You've got the Commerce Guide, you've got the positions for the workshop rankings, you're not on there yet, and obviously the rewards that you get. You've got the mission board, that's where once you've got your builder's certificate for your workshop, you can take commissions. And now we're going to go and talk to Jan, and Jan, I have to say, loves his own voice. He's going to tell you a bit more about the area. As I say, water is vital, you don't chop down trees. You can collect the scrap, so the wood scraps and things like that, and as you run around town, you will see items on the floor that you can pick up to tidy the area up. Tidying up costs you nothing, and it can provide you with either scrap or with dregs. Dregs are something that you can use in your equipment as a fuel type to power it. You've got the dregs, wood, the normal power stones, the blue ones, and the condensed power stones, the yellow squares. These will all be used to power your equipment. Now, when you first start out, getting hold of the dregs is important. Once you've been into some of the ruins and started collecting stuff, you will end up with an absolute fortune. So here are some of the scraps that you see that you can just clean up, and it will give you bits and pieces. So I need to build a recycler now. Oh, there's a tumbleweed. So yeah, if you watch what I'm doing, just keep running into it, and eventually it breaks up, keeps breaking up, and it will give you some wood. There we are. So we're going to go and break up some stones, get some more stone and gravel. As you can see, we're building these up nicely. It's giving us a bit more. Leveling up will increase our attack, our health, and it does increase your stamina as well. You can see that as we're breaking it up, we're collecting dinas, which is basically sand, and dew. Dew is the other thing that you can use, and it is desperate because it helps you make water. You collect dew in small part when you break up dry wood or stones. You collect more if you collect plants. There's herbs such as oregano and so on lying around, sand rice. So if you collect some of those, that will increase your dew, and you use dew to make water, and the water is used to keep your equipment running. It's a bit like a cooling system, I suppose, for the equipment to stop it overheating. Now here is another brilliant thing that's an improvement on Portia. You don't need to have the items in your hand anymore to build stuff at the assembly station. If it's in your inventory, or if it's in boxes in your yard, it will automatically put them in place. There's no more faffing around loading shed loads of stuff into your inventory bar to put it in. I think that's a massive improvement. Your recycler, which we've just planted, you use to take scraps and turn it into usable materials. So we're going to head back to the Commerce Guild. We're going to get another lecture from Jan, who's going to tell us all about how he trusts us entirely. The worst that we can do is burn down the town. And he's now going to tell us to head up to the Mayor's office, the City Hall, to get our permit to be a builder. Well, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit now to what is the most annoying and pointless part of the game. And that is where you meet Pen. Pen is the defender of Sandrock. He is the most pretentious, annoying person you can possibly hope to meet. He leads into the combat tutorial, and basically he does that by humiliating you, belittling you, making you out to be absolutely useless. I don't like the bloke. He has some useful quests that you can get resources from him from, but really and truthfully, he is the rudest bully in the game. He's the magnificent Pen, protector of Sandrock, just skip the tutorial. If you know how to fight from Portia, you know how to fight in this. If you don't know how to fight in Portia, it's quite simple. You left click to attack, you right click to roll and get out the way of attacks, and if you're using a shield you can use Q to block. I'll go through fighting in another tutorial, but please ignore Pen. Here's Matilda, she's the minister of the church, she's standing in for the mayor, and she will register you for your building licence. It's quite simple. She'll have a quick chat with you, she'll give you the option of naming your building, and say what you want to do with it. And here we go. She's going to come along and give us a little drop down box we fill in. It is word limited, so you have to be careful. My name only just fits in there. So we're going to type in the Gaming Rev, because of course, you know, I've got to advertise the channel any way I can. And hit confirm.
That'll do it. You ever want to change,
and she will give you a big certificate. If you want to rename, you can come and buy a renaming price. And there we are, as we come up towards my workshop, there we have the Gaming Rev. So that's it for today. We're going to carry on in future episodes looking at My Time at Sandrock. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye bye.